Hi. Oh, yeah. So I've come prepared with the PPT so that I can stick to the time. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Oh, that's almost 80% of the room. And how many of you are between 25 and 35? Don't go by the age of all the speakers who have come so far. How many of you are between 25 and 35? Fantastic. So like 50%? Lower than 25? Okay. And more than 35? Okay. Well, that gives me a good sense. I love this picture of myself. Everybody's talking about self-love, and you know, Shoma and Zarina made it so heavy, and we're still reeling from that emotion. But I'm just going to keep the whole conversation very practical, and I will stick to the time in life where you all will relate to more. So with that, I start with this. You just saw that picture, and that's me, and I am going to Everest Base Camp in this picture. And I love this. I love this not because I went to the Everest Base Camp, but because I had the power to dream. And if you can dream, then you can do it. So dream it if you want to do it. That's the first thing. This is my other picture. I love this one too. I'm a very young businesswoman in this, and the kind of business that I did was imports and distribution. In my whole network of business, like my dealers, my distributors, the government, and even at customs, I had no other woman in that line. So that sector is so heavily male-dominated, but I didn't care because I didn't know the gender problem. Sometimes it just helps not to know the gender problem, right? But there were some tough parts to it. And we'll get to, and I'm going to share some really practical problems that I had, which actually made me think that there is a gender problem, right? So I was looking forward to in life. I was very young. I was just moving on to the next thing, really excited about the whole thing. And like I said, that my whole network, business network, was all men except me. And I didn't know about this. I didn't care about it. The only thing I was focused on was growing my business. That's what mattered to me. I was going to take a break. And because I was going to deliver a baby, so I was going to take a break. And so I just thought that I should meet all the dealers and distributors and retailers and all of them before I went on that break. And so there were about 25, 30, I don't remember exactly how many people in that room, and I was the only woman, 9 months pregnant. You see only two because I could not find any other better picture where they're, sorry about that, because there aren't enough pictures of pregnant women chairing a meeting of 25, 30 men. This was the best I could do. However, in that room on that day, there were so many other men, and here I was walking and also chairing. And then at some point, you know, you get really excited about your business and you've drawn that whole plan, it's coming to fruition and all of that. You're so excited. I was talking about my plans for the future, so I got up and I started scribbling on the whiteboard and tripped into something and fell. There was pin-drop silence in the room. The men didn't move. Not that they were not affected, but I'm sure this was the first time they were in a situation like this. They did not know whether to step forward and pick me up, leave me there, or what. It must have been a couple of seconds, I really don't know, but it felt like eternity. And for the first time, I realized that I'm the only woman in this room. And I wasn't worried about me falling down or something happening to my baby. The only thing I was embarrassed about, falling down in front of the men. You know? So that was the first time I realized that, oh my God, I'm the only woman here, and I wish, like today I'm speaking here, and I wish there were more women in that room on that day who would have just come and picked me up and said, oh, it's okay, you know, you're fine. We cut the meeting short, and I went straight to the hospital. Took a break. This is what happened next. Really happy, everything. And I had dreams. I've always been ambitious. Women, if you think ambition is wrong, just leave it. Focus on it. It's the most beautiful thing, right? I was ambitious and I wanted to get back to work. So I took a break for 2-3 months. And then I said, okay, I'm going back to work. Yeah. So as a young mom, I didn't know a lot of things, right? So I went to work. And as a business person, there is no part-time or full-time. I thought I'm going to go to work part-time and I'm going to spend some time over there and come back. So I went for 2 hours. I ended up being there for 5 hours. When I came back from work that day, and I think my baby by then was some 3 months old or something, not only the baby was in a mess, but I was also in a mess and a lot of pain, right? And I had no idea that things like this happen. And that particular day was a wake-up moment for me, and I didn't know what to do next. Should I go back to work? Should I stay at home? And this is really important because this is that moment in life which makes us leave work. It doesn't make us leave anything else because it just makes us leave work. So I went through that, and I had a very supportive family who wanted to see me grow. And next day I had a conversation with them. So I said, what do? I have no idea. Jana chahiye, chhod dena chahiye, all of those things. So they came up with the answers. They didn't want to say, look, we decided for you, so you go ahead and decide for yourself. And they told me all these things. And I'm sure all of you who are mothers, if you took break from work, or whoever you're going to talk to, they're going to give you these answers, similar answers, all of that. That particular night, I just sat there and thought, who do I go to? All in that moment I needed was a friend who had walked that path before me, who could tell me that these problems will come, but don't worry. But I didn't have that person. And something happened, some good sense prevailed, and I decided to continue working. And that's why I'm standing here today talking to you all. Life continued. I went back to work. I did the business that I was doing for a long time. I switched, and I switched from being a hardcore businesswoman. I became a social entrepreneur. And this is a school I started for slum kids. And this picture was taken in the first month of that school. And like Zarina was saying, that another day for these stories, which is like beautiful stories. But then, you know, this is the switch I did. And then I realized that there were things that were missing in my life. I'd been a business person. I was trained in business. And now I've made the switch and I don't have the skills. So I took a sabbatical, went to Harvard, got myself a degree in public policy, came back home, all happy to start work all over again. And I started another social project which is spread across villages. We've adopted a few villages and we are working in the schools of those villages. And I thought I became wiser. So, but actually, this time around also, sorry. So, you know, when in my earlier avatar as a hardcore businesswoman, when I went through those challenges, I thought I'm going to create a community of working women or, you know, women who are entrepreneurs or whoever, so that we can come and talk about it. But then you just get on with life and you forget. Roz subah uthe apne kaam mein chale gaye, baki sab piche. So now the second time around, when I started this work in the villages and all of that, and I realized I was facing exactly the same challenges. And this is about a decade and a half later. Same challenges. यार कुछ तो नया होना चाहिए था. And then, and also the thought of creating that community had continued to linger in my mind for so long, right? So I'm an entrepreneur, and that's all I know to do. And what I did next was, this time I did some study. अब Harvard पढ़ के आ गए तो थोड़ा देखना पड़ा ना कि क्या चल रहा है. So then we looked at. These are the most recent numbers. India is at the bottom of economic opportunity and participation for women, according to World Economic Forum. It's that bad. Gender parity, education, everything. We are at the lowest. So it embarrasses me. It embarrasses me to show this slide to anyone, because that's where we are. Look at the number of women entrepreneurs in the country, 14%. And that is micro entrepreneurs included, also included where the business is in the woman's name and it is being run by a man. So all of those things are there. And the challenges are exactly what I had faced about 1.5 decades earlier, which is the community wasn't there, there was difficulty in finding the mentors, and all those challenges, they still existed. Why you? Why am I talking to you all? Because you all are either entrepreneurs or are aspiring to be entrepreneurs. And that's what matters to me. And that is what matters to everyone. And we talked about, I mean, both of them touched some parts of it, that if you are an entrepreneur, then, and if you earn the money, first of all, the first thing that you're going to get from that money is a seat at the table in your own house. The decision making will shift. So a lot of us here are urban women, and I think most of us are, urban women. But generally, that decision-making is not there. And I'm not just judging, but I'm just saying that maybe there are people in this room as well. So you will get a seat at the table in your own house, at work, and many other tables. If women earn, then the development indicators become better because they invest in their families, health, education, their own health as well, and also fulfill their own dreams, whether they're about skilling, upskilling, or traveling, any of those. A lot of times we will sacrifice on all of those things because the money that is there in the house is not ours. And Zarina talked about it, and that was such an important lesson for all of us. But there is another reason. Because when women earn or they run businesses, they have a propensity of hiring other women. This is what my team, part of my leadership team, looks like. And you can imagine that if all of you are going to create successful businesses, all of you are going to have, it need not be a full women's team, but you will have a large number of members of your team as women. And 20 years later, you will see the difference. Right now is the investing time. We would not know what we are creating, but we are on to creating something great. And 20 years hence, you're going to see this. Why us? Because we believe in you. And these are the entrepreneurs from my program, and I'm quickly going to talk a little bit about that, because what we do is that we build an ecosystem for women entrepreneurs. Empathy is at the heart of our program. I told you 2 instances from my life, and that is just to know that how important it is to be empathetic. Empathy to yourself, empathy to the environment around you, empathy to the work that you're doing. All of that is so important. And the community is very important. I love this room because a lot of you are going to engage with each other. There is going to be a community built out of this whole group. And it's very important to understand what we are doing and how we can be empathetic to each other. We get into work, we get into business because we are passionate about it, or we have the need. In both cases, we need to skill ourselves. So we have learning as a core pillar, mentorship. Without mentoring, nothing will happen. We all need to have a mentor in our life. Networking, this is a beautiful event to showcase networking. And over here, we are not just going to network with each other, but networks have an effect. They will help you create more business opportunities. They will help you create more collaborations, find your teams. So networking is really important. And the reason it is part of one of the pillars is that women shy away from networking. And that's a hard truth. They will have mobility issues, they will have a lot of other issues, and they will shy away from networking. And the last is role modeling. Is Indra Nui a role model? Yes. But can we just do with one Indra Nui? And she is so up there that so many times she is not even a role model for us. Our role models are you, and me. Where when a younger girl or a girl in our situation sees us and feels, oh, if she can achieve it, then I can achieve it too. If I could do Everest Base Camp, after me, so many women have done Everest Base Camp. Because it's doable. It's an ordinary woman who's doing it. These are the programs that we run. So ideation and early stage programs where there are aspiring women entrepreneurs, who are just thinking that how do we solve a problem, how do we build a solution around it. We do incubation for both for-profit companies and non-profit companies. A program we run which Fiki Flow with, which is running in about 18 cities across India for tier 2, and we also provide funding support to these budding entrepreneurs. Finally is the accelerator, which is the other arm of the program, and that is if you're already making revenue, then how do you achieve the growth that you want to achieve, and basically how do you raise money? So we handhold those kinds of entrepreneurs as well. Our vision is, not just me, the whole team envisions in India where all women entrepreneurs are empowered, and we want to accelerate the journey of 100,000 women entrepreneurs. That's what we want to do. I'm just going to close this conversation by telling you what the word women means to me. I say, women, please do not feel scared of dreaming. If you can dream it, you can do it. If a man is ambitious and he is trying to achieve everything and he's successful, everybody likes him. Men like him, women like him. But if a woman is ambitious and she is an achiever, neither do the men like her nor the women like her. And this is not me saying, there is proven research on this. Because we are used to stereotypes, and anyone who breaks the stereotypes, nobody likes her. But if for being ambitious or a go-getter is a positive term for men, but it is the same terms are negative for a woman. Don't get scared and dream it. Only if you dream it, you will be able to do it. Break this glass ceiling, do whatever you want to do, but just don't stop dreaming. Don't give up somewhere in the middle of your journey. O is for organizing. Organize yourself right from the start. Organize your professional life, personal life, because your personal life will become very heavy on your professional life if you don't organize it. If you don't create support system around you, then tomorrow you're going to have trouble. So it's very important to organize your lives and stick to those structures. It's very, very important. M is mentorship. To be successful, find mentors. There will not be just one mentor in your life. There will be multiple mentors. They will come for a season. They will come for a lifetime. But they all should come for a reason. And that reason should be good enough for that mentor to be there. And make sure what you get out of the mentorship depends totally on you. So make sure you get the most out of it. If you want to succeed, please find yourselves mentors. And we can talk about how to find mentors. E, entrepreneurship. I mean, how can we not talk about that? It's a very, very lonely journey. Everybody has talked about it. And you're going to fall more often than you're going to climb the success ladder. And in those moments, you should know how to get up. Take care of yourself. Just brush yourself and walk on. Because nobody is going to come and support you. In those moments, you will have to get up and brush yourself, right? So entrepreneurship is that very difficult time. So I have a coping mechanism around me that even today, now that I've created for-profit, non-profit businesses, scaled them, also exited, failed at them, failed more often than succeeded, all of that has happened. So every time a deal goes wrong for me, what do? I sit and binge watch Netflix. Right? I do that for 6 hours, 8 hours, the trashiest show, I'll do that. And then when I'm done, I just get up and then I go for a coffee with a friend. And then I say, I allow myself 12 hours to get up and heal and then start with the same energy. So that's what you all will find your own coping mechanism. The last is N, which stands for no is not an option. Don't ever think कि ये नहीं हुआ. No is only final when you decide. Do you all remember when we were learning how to ride a bicycle and we would fall from the bicycle while riding it and we would just get up and dust and थोड़ी देर के बाद में एक feeling आती थी that there is some wind blowing on our face and our hair, the mud-filled hair is flying because we are cycling. We could feel the salty taste of our tears because we were happy with joy. So just remember कि गिर के या हार के जीतने वाले को ही बाजीगर कहते हैं. Thank you. Happy to talk more later, answer questions, whatever. Thank you.
Thank you.